Hey everyone, I'm Tim with Bayou Creative and welcome to What's Brewing. Today, we're with Denise Champagne at Coffeeweed Cottage. But before we get into that, let's watch that beautiful bean footage. Denise, thank you so much for joining us today. So obviously, you and I have had a very long-standing relationship, but for the people that don't know, tell us who you are and what do you do?
I am Denise Champagne. I am the owner of Coffeeweed Cottage, and I've been the owner now almost a year, and I love it.
That's awesome. So let's get into that, right? Every business has a name, and certainly yours is not shy of interest.
Yeah.
What is Coffeeweed Cottage? How did you come to that name?
I think, it's Coffeeweed is plants, books, coffee, and home decor gifts, and it seemed to be some sort of mercantile. Like, how do we even come up with,
Right.
a name that encompasses all of it? And I think because of our unique blends, we have chicory and we have regular, coffee. But it was, what is a nickname for chicory? And really, what is chicory? Because
Right.
most people just know Cafe au lait, Cafe du Monde, that sort of thing. And so as I was researching chicory, it's a plant. And the nickname is coffee weed.
Ah, today years
And
old. That's awesome.
I know, and it takes over, so that's why they call it a weed. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, we sell plants and coffee.
Yeah,
It's coffee weed.
that's cool. So talk me through the timeline. From the day you thought, if you did, or maybe you dreamt this, how long did it take from date of thought to opening day?
6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It was not supposed to be mine.
Ah, okay.
It was
Explain.
really going to be another company that I worked for at the
Okay,
time.
okay.
And the concept was going to be more of plumbing, appliances, kitchen and bath stuff. And the coffee and the book aspect of it was going to be incorporated in that. And so the concept was accepted, and they were hesitant because it was a big investment and
Yeah.
it was very different from what they were doing
Extremely.
currently.
Yeah.
And so they were going to give me one location, and we almost signed the lease like the day before COVID hit.
That was 2017.
2020.
No, 2020. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm way off
2020.
on that one. 2020.
So
March 17th, I think, is the day. I was thinking it was a Friday.
Yeah.
So that
well,
was a Thursday.
it was like February. We were going through that whole process of looking at the building, and we were going to do like some sort of 60-day lease to kind of check the building out, make sure it was, working properly. Everything was good. And so, and then everything got pulled back. And then I ended up leaving that company in June that year. And so I kind of backtabled it.
Yeah.
And just didn't think anything of it for probably another year and a half. And then I was traveling a lot. And every time I would sit in a cool coffee shop or, go to some really cool place, I was like, man, we need something like this in Lafayette.
Yeah.
And a very good friend of mine said, hey, why don't you do what you were going to do for the other company for you? What does that look like?
What a friend.
Man, she's amazing.
What a friend.
I know. Her name is Leanne, and I always say a friend, but she's like, I mean, you should probably say my name. You say it often enough. That's the kind of friend I have.
That's awesome. So off camera, people who are watching this won't be able to see full scale what we're sitting in,
Okay.
but we are sitting in quite a garden right now. So I guess the question begs, are you a garden center with a coffee shop? Are you a coffee shop with a garden center?
I don't
and
know.
How did you come to this?
Yeah. My background probably when I was 18, I worked at Marshall's Nursery.
Oh yeah, okay.
And it was one of the largest home and garden centers really around, and loved it. I loved working there. I loved going to work. So I think as an 18-year-old who wasn't going to college and really had to work for a living, I was excited to go to work, and I loved the plants, and I didn't know at the time that was what it was about, and the people there too. And so I left there and I went work for a landscape company.
Okay.
And it was an all-girl landscape crew.
Oh, that's cool.
It was very cool.
That's cool.
And we did a lot of big businesses in Lafayette, and we also did the interior side of it, where we would bring in plants like this and we would take care of them. So on Mondays every week, we would go and water them.
Yeah, yeah.
So loved all of it, and left there. Again, it was just kind of one of those things that, you know, God puts you each little experience in your life that you're going to actually use in your little tool belt later on. I didn't know at the time that was going to help me. And so we've got great garden centers here.
Yeah, we do.
But a lot of them don't specialize in the interior plant aspect of it.
I agree. I got into plants recently. And,
yeah, we were talking about that.
So I have not yet bought the outdoor plant. So in closing, I would like to understand, you have something here called a grow bar.
Yeah.
What is that?
So we wanted, you know, during the pandemic, a lot of people started buying plants because relationally, we couldn't be with people. So you either adopted a dog or a cat, or like people started bringing in plants, and it was something to take care of. It was kind of a relational side of not people, but plants. And so as that started to grow, so did mine. I started adding more. And a lot of people don't know how to take care of plants. And and so it's, when you buy a plant, you don't know how much light it needs, how much, you know, water it needs. And they have these little cards in there that kind of help you. But really, we wanted to help people where it was going, you know, what kind of lighting, and also help with the soil, because soil does matter. So there's three components: the water intake, the soil, and the environment it's in. And so if we can help you to minimize maybe some of the troublesome of that, then your plants are going to live longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
The grow bar is you and your friends can schedule stuff. You and your friends can schedule a plant party, and we'll teach you what plants work where, and teach you, you know, the soil for that. And you can have fun with your friends and hang out.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, Denise, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
There's a few more things to discuss. I think we'll get to that maybe our next segment.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you for watching, everyone. But before we go, make sure you like this video, crush that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything we post. Until then, take care.